Let's take a look at, this is not SNL, this is the DNC. Jesus. Amelie. Akpanobi. You wanna stuff?
I have a show of hands. How many of you believe, I have a show of hands.
Huh?
How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat?
Do you guys see where my hands are? That's right, they're down. Now, the Democratic
that's
Party got
fucking
together
weird.
for their Democratic National Committee elections, and you can guarantee they have not learned their lesson about why they lost this last presidential election. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that was insane how they chalked it up to the misogyny and race. Like, what, dude? Did you not see what the fuck she was saying?
Guys, before we get into today's video,
She sounded like a
the
cackling
National Committee
buffoon.
gathers together to elect their leadership, including chair and vice chair. And you can imagine what it's like to have a bunch of leftists just stuck together in one room. And if you can't, I'll tell you about it, because I used to be one, and I used to be in rooms just like this. And with the clips that are circulating online, it went about just as I would expect it to. There was, of course, talk of Donald Trump and losing this last election, of diversity, equity, inclusion, racism, feminism, ableism, and there was even singing.
All the
Watch
isms.
clip number 1.
And we'll begin with the opening statements. Each candidate will have 30 seconds, and we'll start with Dr. Quintessa Hathaway.
Good evening, everyone. It is my desire to be the next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple days.
You don't look like a doctor.
You fight
Oh, God.
on, you fight on,
Oh, yeah, that's right. You see,
you
start singing.
fight on,
for some reason.
You fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on. Oh, you fight on.
Okay, Quintessa. Time for a nap. What is going on? You
Yeah, I
are
don't know.
not Cynthia Erivo. You need to sit down and speak to people and explain why you should be the chair. If that is your opening statement, I can guarantee you are not winning the race, even though people are going to applaud you because they feel as though they have to, because that's what we have to do for
it's
black
like,
women in
yeah,
America
you
these
didn't
days. I don't
yeah,
think
that
you're winning the
opening
race.
statement
And
didn't
guess
really
what?
tell us
Update,
much about who
Quintessa
you are
did
as a
not
person.
win DNC chair. It in fact went to a gentleman by the name of Ken Martin. So
Yeah.
we will no longer be subjected to that singing. So that's good. But she did have other statements about systemic racism and being black in America. Let's watch.
Racism has not gone away since 20 people of African descent came upon these shores at Jamestown, Virginia in 1619, and it's going to require us to think and behave in a new way. It is systemic, it is structural. When it comes to addressing diversity, equity, inclusion, access, and belonging, that is for all people
Yeah,
of the
this is
United
why
States.
nobody wanted to
That
vote
must
for her.
come
It's
across
because
the
of all
voting
the stuff
line
that
as
she was
well.
talking about.
This is everyone's America. Our story has a new form of glory that must come to our shores as well.
Y'all, I just heard a whole bunch of nothing. A
Yep,
whole bunch
whole
of
bunch
nothing.
of
You know
nothing,
what it
yep.
guarantees? They did not learn their lesson. Identity politics is the reason that the Democrats lost this 2024 election. In fact, there are many other reasons, but it's a large piece of the pie here.
yeah.
And what do they go straight back to the minute they're together in a room together to decide who leads them? Racism, misogyny,
yeah,
oppression,
misogyny,
identity
oppression, yeah.
politics, over and over and over again. It's endless. And it's a playbook that they lean on that is not really going well for them.
Yep.
So maybe we need to switch up the pages a little bit. But the pages will never change because it seems as though Democrats do not have a clear view or clear reasoning as to why they lost this last election. When asked
Yeah,
if they
it's
feel
like
like
they
racism
don't-
and misogyny was a primary contributor to their loss,
I don't even
this is
think
how
they know
responded.
why they
in
lost.
this round. So I'm going to, I have a show of hands.
I think if you asked like people
many
of
of
the
you believe
Democratic
that
Party why
racism
they
and
think they
misogyny played a
lost, I don't
role
think
in
they
Vice
could tell
President
you why
Harris's
they
defeat?
lost. they would all they would say is because
Okay.
Orange Man is evil. Oh,
So,
okay. Well, that doesn't
That's
tell
good.
us
You all
much.
pass.
You
I
all
mean, yeah, that
passed
actually
what?
tells us
The
a
test
lot.
for
That
who's
tells
gonna
us
keep
that you
losing
didn't
elections
know
4
what the
years
fuck
after
you
4
how you lost.
years years after 4 years? If so, yes, you most definitely passed. Do you know why people voted for Donald Trump and not Kamala Harris? It's not because he's a white man and she is whatever race she wants to utilize on any given day, and because she's a woman. It's because they want a secure border. It's because they want their children's education to be taken seriously. It's because they want their tax dollars to be taken seriously. It's because they want to fight the drug crisis that's happening in America right now. They want Americans to be healthier. They want America to be taken seriously.
Yeah, that's why they got RFK Jr.
And they didn't think that Kamala Harris was capable of achieving any of those things. In fact, Kamala Harris sat in power as a vice president for what, 4 years? And what did she do? Just about nothing. And if you look at the people who voted for Donald Trump, you're not just going to see white Americans, you're going to see people of all different colors. In fact, he got one of the most diverse voting bases of a Republican in decades. So if you think that racism and misogyny is the primary driver,
even though the Democrats were all like, oh no, he didn't do this.
Back to us on that. And we wouldn't be in a room full of leftists if we didn't talk about gender. Of course, it's going to get a little confusing for them because they're going to have candidates that are not only male and female, but non-binary, gender queer, gender fluid, all of these different identities. How are they handling it? Let's see.
The rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections,
dude, that fucking
our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In
2
order
male
to
and
be
2 female.
Gender balance, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender.
Of any gender.
So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect.
Point of privilege. What do
Notice how they said we have to elect. Oh, so it's not a democracy. We can't really choose who we want to elect. We're now in these guardrails that we have to follow. Like, what are we doing here?
What do we do if the candidate is a Therian who identifies as a 4-legged wolf? I imagine
I don't
that's how
know.
these things go. Fill me in if it's not.
1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements for rules. To do this,
I don't think this is a
our process
democracy.
will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week. But I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent.
Yeah, simple and transparent.
It's designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity.
Sure it is.
As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as 1 male and 1 female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have 1 officer of the 3. So then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair of any gender.
Y'all just need to keep coming up with new genders, because you're gonna spend half your time.
They're having they were having troubles with their own rule set because they were just like, because they don't even know. I don't even think they know what the fuck they're saying half the time sometimes.
Time on bookkeeping and then the other half on whatever it is you guys are trying to get done. Because I don't know how this is going to continue to work
I
for
don't
you
know what
if
they're trying
we
to do
continue
here.
on the gender track that we're on right now, because non-binary is not going to be the end of it. As you can see with those little pronouns on the screen, we got zim, zay, zairs. I don't know, guys, but it seems rough out there. And we've seen how these meetings go. In fact, I've been in leftist meetings before where somebody says the wrong pronouns and all of a sudden everything's taken off the tracks and we have to address this point of privilege or this oppression point and then move on.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege. Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to.
Why did you... See, this is Hassan's people. Hassan goes into a room and is just like, You're oppressing my opinions. You need to stop. You need to follow what I say. Can you please stop doing what you're doing and let me focus? Ah!
Focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade.
Thank you, comrade. What the fuck? You can't make this up.
Thank you, comrade.
And I think it's going to be the very same thing that happens behind the scenes and some of the clerical work that is required to run committees like this.
It sounds like
And this is a
Hassan's
prime
chat.
example of this sort of ideology. You know, if not setting us back regressively and culturally,
Yes,
setting you back at
comrade.
least a few minutes in trying to
I am
think the
here
deeds.
to
And if it's not random singing
spelt
or
the good
confusion
word.
about non-binary candidates, there is the I am speaking form of leftist that is popping up all over the place after Kamala Harris and people like Jasmine Crockett made their way into Washington.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I am speaking.
Holy
And
cow.
I would love your
Yeah, these are
attention.
these are the
There is a
next
black woman
level
out
of
this
Jasmine
podium. I
Crockett's
deserve your
and
attention,
Kamala
like the 11 people
Harris's.
who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, you
I
are
don't even
speaking.
know
Are you
what
gonna
to say.
speak
You know,
anymore?
Maybe I'm getting very biased clippage. Is that even a word? I don't know. From this DNC meeting, and I'm just seeing the very worst of it. But if this is what's happening behind the scenes from y'all need to do a little workshop on getting things right, on making less stuff like this take place. But it's because you've been infiltrated with identity politics, and it's at the very center of everything you do that you're having conversations like this. Everything
constantly.
is going to be diverted down the lane of talking about identity politics.
Yeah, it's gonna be diverted, and then you're going to be stuck in this cycle of just never talking about the issues. Instead, you're talking about just random bullshit that don't mean shit. It's like, how are we doing this?
Politics and random singing and saying I'm a black woman and I need to be listened to.
Yeah, random singing. Yeah, right. Be the where was those people who started to do the Samoan dance or some shit, whatever, right? Because they were trying to stop a bill from passing.
Because you've placed your priorities in the wrong areas when it comes
Yeah,
to the
literally.
issues that you guys are focusing
Priorities
on.
are
And when
all
everybody
fucked
feels
up.
marginalized all in one space, all in one time for all different reasons, then we mix in a little bit of intersectionality where people are trying to play their different points of privilege or disadvantage
or
against one
identity
another.
politics,
Everybody
right?
deserves the mic. Everybody deserves.
I'm black and right. You must follow because I get sensory overload and you can't do this. Okay? It hurts my focus and I need to focus. So you doing all this, can you just be quiet? What? How the fuck are we gonna get anything done, you fucking weirdo?
To have their story heard. Everyone deserves to be listened to and to say, I am speaking and I'm a black woman on this stage. And you can just take the black out of that sentence and trade it out for any marginalized identity, and suddenly everybody deserves the floor. Speaking of deserving to be heard and deserving the floor, they literally talk about who deserves the floor in a land acknowledgement before they proceed into actually discussing the topics of their meeting.
Welcome. The Democratic National Committee wishes to acknowledge that we gather together to state our values on lands that have been stewarded through many centuries by the ancestors and the descendants of tribal nations
Native
who have been
Americans.
here since time immemorial. We honor the communities native to this continent
The Native Americans.
and recognize that our country was built on indigenous lands and home.
I gotta ask, what does this accomplish? Literally, what does this achieve to
Yeah, I don't
acknowledge
know.
the land that you're standing on and who walked on
They're
it
just
before
talking,
you did?
right?
In my eyes,
He's making a
literally
speech
nothing.
about
But this
the
is what
Native
DNC and
Americans.
the Democratic Party does. They play into these identity politics and these marginalized identities, and then they subsequently do nothing for those individuals.
Yeah, they do
I gotta
nothing.
tell you guys, these baseless acknowledgments or calls to oppression or systemic problems achieve absolutely nothing. And instead of doing all these random acknowledgments and wasting the time of everybody that's coming together for this meeting, why don't you just get actual work done for the people that you're claiming to acknowledge? And we'll see if they do get any actual work done. Of course, I've already acknowledged that.
Yeah, who knows if they?
Chair, but they've also
I mean, they
chosen their
didn't
fight.
get work done for the 4 years. Who? I'm surprised they even got work done for this DNC party election. I'm surprised they even elected the 2 guys that they did.
Chair, which is going to be David Hogg. You'll remember David Hogg
Yeah.
from the Parkland shooting. He was running around doing press hit after press hit after press hit after that tragedy took place. And now he finds himself as the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. Let's watch a little bit of what he had to say.
Are you ready to go on the offense?
Dude, the Democratic Party has fallen so far. Jesus Christ. Fucking David Hogg and that other fucking guy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Man, 2028? Holy shit, man. I think it's gonna be an easy win.
Are you ready to go on the offense? We have to win back our young people. I am the only
We have to
candidate
win
in this
back
race
our
for
young
any
people.
of these positions that is under 30.
Our young
We
people
have a
is where the
20-point
votes
shift
are.
to the right of our young people. We must show our young people we give a damn about them.
We
that
give a
support them,
damn.
and we invest in them. I have raised over $11 million in the past year to support the future of our party because I don't just tweet. I don't just talk the talk. I also walk the walk and I knock the knock in doors across the country, but I'm counting on you in this moment right now.
All right, soy boy, calm down. Every time you hear a gun, you cry.
Thank you so much.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I know the left is on this whole thing of like, who is the Joe Rogan of the left? I can guarantee you it is
No
not
one.
David Hogg. And men out
It was
who are,
Joe
you know, maybe
Rogan,
fenced in on
literally.
your political
And
positions at the
then they
moment,
lost Joe
considering
Rogan.
leftism. I don't just tweet. I don't just talk the talk. I also walk the talk, and I knock the knock. Does that influence you?
Nope.
Are you motivated? Are you gonna get out there and knock the knock for the left, boys?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so, man. I don't know. And I know that David Hogg is like the guy on the left these days. He's pretty much had his political future sealed for him ever since what happened at Parkland, which however you feel about it is how you feel about it. Let me know in the comments down below. But I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah, basically, he
by this move.
was,
Do I feel as though he's going to
he was one
motivate
of
young people
the,
and
what,
show them
survivors
that
of the
left
Parkland
truly
shooting?
cares about them and men specifically, which is what the DNC needs right now? Absolutely not. But
And then
you know,
he
I'm
just,
willing to watch as he gives it.
Right, he
his
just
best,
made it his
best knock. His best knock on the door. If David Hogg knocks on my door, I don't even know that I'd be bothered to answer. Not even for the content. I hate to say it, but his speech is giving Tim Wells Jr. And I do not mean that as a compliment.
We aren't going
Oh,
back.
God.
But I don't seriously know if the Democratic National Committee can muster up the masculinity in a man that it would
No,
require
they
to
lost.
have men move
The
to the
people
left. Just a
they
genuine
chose
question that I
are
have.
just
And if
so
you can
bad.
Think of somebody, let me know who that would be down below.
Yeah, I don't
Everybody
even
always
know
says
who.
Hassan Piker. Does that make
Ugh.
sense? You guys let me know
Oh,
who's capable
God.
of being Joe Rogan of the left. I'll wait. Won't hold my breath though. And those, my friends,
It was
were my
Joe
most
Ro-
favorite
like I said,
moments
it was
from
Joe
the
Rogan,
Democratic
but they
National
lost
Committee
Joe
election.
Rogan.
You guys let me know how you feel about them in the comments down
I mean,
below.
look, to be honest,
I
Joe
don't know how
Rogan
much
is
these,
still kind of a
individuals are going
lefty,
to
right?
achieve with the leadership
I
that
mean,
they
just
chose
because he
and
voted
the way in which
Republican
they
this
went
time doesn't
about
mean
it,
he's
because these
he's
clips
not
were
a lefty, right?
wild. And maybe there's some
Right,
equivalent
Joe Rogan
things
is still Joe
happening at
Rogan.
the RNC, although I highly doubt it. The craziest thing we saw was what, Hulk Hogan ripping off his shirt at their convention.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was weird.
insane. Maybe we'll have to revisit this as as they go their own way on that. But my goodness, do I know exactly why the Democrats lost this last election, and they're
Yes.
sticking to that agenda.
Yeah,
leading
they're
up to the
sticking
next
to
one.
it.
So I think it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, I mean, if
for
they're gonna
us,
stick to
guys.
the
Thank you so much
pattern,
for watching. If you
well,
like this
they're
video, like,
fucked.
subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And if you disagree with anything said in this video, do get out in the comments down below, but just respectfully. We encourage healthy debate on this channel. With that,
Thank you.
guys, I will see you.
Cheers.
Bye. Yeah, you better.
JD Vance for becoming the 48th president? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Wait, so they're upset that Kamala lost because of racism in their view, and yeah, because of racism and misogyny, right? Or sexism, if you will. And then elect a white man as their new chair. Yeah, I know, right? Unironically. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, I know. As a former Democrat, I will never vote for these losers ever again. What a cringe fest. Well, like I said, in one of my, I think the Asmongold one, I was like, okay, yeah, the rise of the third part, right, the independent party, man. The Green Party, right? The Independent or Green Party, yeah, right? What? They could possibly make it. You never know. Bernie Sanders might actually have a chance if he doesn't croak. You know? Oh shit. Oh man, the Democratic Party has fucking fallen so far. Right? They just don't have another like Obama or George W. Bush, right? They just don't have another person like that. As I can see right now. I mean, I guess you could say Newscum, but dude, he can't even take care of California. You're gonna ask him to be president? Yikes. But yeah, I don't know who could, well, I mean, they already made their choice for DNC, right? Or for the runner-ups for next election, so. They shot themselves in the foot. What can you do? Amale Ekpanobi? Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm bad at names. If you want to go follow. Oh, I thought I was subscribed to her. I wasn't. Well, there you go. Well, check her out under news.